Penguins Hockey, presented by Comcast. Steve Mears here with Luca Caputi and Jordan Staal, and right now it's time for our favorite segment of the entire show, questions from our audience members. Penguin season ticket holders are here. They've been fantastic so far. So for our first question, we send it down to Dan Potash.
All right, Jake, you're up first. Who's your question for?
Jordan Staal. When you play against your brothers, do you ever talk to them on the ice?
They're actually my first game, my first face-off against Eric. Eric decided to bet a Gatorade on it, and I ended up losing, so I brought him a Gatorade after the game. But we talk sometimes, just little jabs here and there when you get the opportunity, but it's mostly business.
All right, George, you're up next. Who's your question for?
I have a question for Luca. And by the way, congratulations on the goal last night.
Thank you.
My question for you is, one day you're playing in Wilkes-Barre, all of a sudden you're in Pittsburgh playing with Gino Malkin on the wing. How do you prepare for that?
There's not much you could really do. You just, like I said, try and keep your game simple and make room for him out there on the ice. He's one of the best players in the world for a reason, so you kind of stay out of his way, let him do his thing, and go to the net hard.
Is it tough to not give him the puck? Or you don't want to force feed him the puck all the time. But how do you get that balance?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between, forcing passes and making the right play, and that's instinct on the ice, and, you make the right play at the right time.
Okay, Ollie, you're up next.
Luca, a couple things. One, welcome back to Pittsburgh again. Two, again, congratulations on a great game last night.
Thanks.
I have a couple very quick questions. One, you had a great game. What are your goals for the rest of the year? And two, in June, are you going to be old enough to drink champagne out of the cup?
Well, I'll answer your first question or your second question first. I turned 21 in October, so that's not an issue.
You're Canadian anyway, right?
As for the rest of the season, I just want to, play well and improve and mature as an individual and as a pro every day, and hopefully be a permanent player here someday.
All right, Tony, you're up next. Who's your question for?
Staal. And if you won the Stanley Cup this season, what would you do with it if you win?
That's a great question. I mean, I'd have to bring it home again. It seemed like when I brought it home, I couldn't see enough people. I couldn't do enough things with it. It's such a short period of time, and there's plenty more people. I could enlighten their day with the cup, and I'd love to, get an opportunity to do that again.
I thought it was interesting. Eric, he was okay with touching it because he had won it before, but Mark still won't go near, right?
Mark hid in the corner. Yeah, he's. We're not really a superstitious family, but Mark. He shied away, and Jared had some fun with it.
But that's what when Eric won in 06, did you touch it?
I never told anyone this, but I drank out of it.
Okay.
So I didn't touch it. You kind of just poured it on my my face, but I did taste some stuff out of it, so it was good.
And you wore a little bit of it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a sign of things to come. He was just taking a taste.
Just wanted to taste.
Just
you know?
Practice.
That's right.
Practice.
That's right.
Foreshadowing. Okay.
All right, our last question is from Francesca. Go right ahead.
This is for Staal. What's your favorite part about hockey and why?
I actually got this question earlier today, and the only thing I think of is just the fans. There's no better feeling skating out on the ice and having 16,000 people screaming, for you to do well, and it really gives you chills every time, and it's an unbelievable feeling, and I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Nice to be back home, isn't it? A little change of scenery with that last game, and
yeah, it was. We had quite a few road games, and we really want to get back, obviously, on a winning streak, and no better way to start it off at home here, and hopefully keep it going.
Do you feel the team is back on track now, moving into your next game?
I think so. The way things went last game, I thought we were doing the right things and playing the way we should, and Philly will be a tough test as well.
Okay, we're going to take another break. We will be back to wrap things up. We'll have some one-timers, and we'll finish up here at Mellon Arena for this edition of Inside Penguins Hockey, presented by Comcast. Welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping things up with Luca Caputi and Jordan Staal here on this week's edition of Inside Penguins Hockey, presented by Comcast. And finally, one-timers, some quick questions here. Luca, we'll start with you. Greatest moment of your career?
Scoring in Montreal last year.
First game, pretty nice highlight there. How about hockey idol growing up?
Doug Gilmour.
All right. And if you could have dinner with one person in history, who would it be?
Mario Lemieux.
All right. We could have that arranged, I'm sure. Jordan Staal, we asked you earlier about toughest guy on a faceoff. You said Rod Brindamore. How about toughest goalie to beat in the NHL?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that one. I think Brodeur, as of late anyways. I got a few of them earlier in my career, but as of late, seems like he's been getting better.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
Favorite road arena to play in?
Montreal is a pretty cool place. I like New York as well.
And finally, funniest teammate?
Billy Guerin.
He is hilarious.
He is a funny man.
What does he do? Is it just nonstop with him, huh?
He just, his mind's always going. There's always something going on, you know. You'll never know what you're going to expect from him.
Awesome guest. Let's hear it for Luca Caputi and Jordan Staal, everybody. And a big thanks to our season ticket holders who joined us, as well as Dan Potash, and to you for watching. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on Inside Penguins Hockey, presented by Comcast.